because he killed a Brahmin, we don't revere him. So I'm giving you examples that these ossified things is some of the things that we have to jettison from our mind. The second thing I would like to say is that we need a defalsified history, and particularly defalsified history textbook. The reason is that many of the things that are said have no relationship to the reality in history. Now take for example, first of all, as Tarun Vijay correctly said, people don't realize that the Vijayanagaram Empire lasted longer and had more land under its reign, while Islam went to Persia and within 15 years converted everybody there to Islam. Same thing with Babylon in Mesopotamia, which is now known as Iraq, and Egypt. The Christians went to Europe and converted the whole of Europe to Christianity. But in India, there were 800 years rule of Islam, 200 years rule indirectly of Christians, and yet this country today has 80% of population Hindu. How did this happen? Which is different from anywhere else in the world. And that's because every part of India was in a state of rebellion. Some succeeded, like Shivaji. Some did not, but died in valor. For example, Rana Pratap. Or in Tamil Nadu, against the British, Kattabomman. In Karnataka, Rani Chennamma. And Rani Jhansi here. Subhash Chandra Bose did not win. He did not give you freedom, directly anyway. But he's revered because of the fact that he put up a struggle. So that spirit of fighting throughout, that is a thing that is not recorded in our history. And it restores a certain degree of self-confidence if all this is brought out in our history. So I would say the arming, first of all, is that don't think of yourself as having come from Europe or Africa or someplace. You are indigenous and you are all one. Whether you have this caste or that caste, or this varna or that varna. And the second thing is that even though we had so much decentralization in our country, when the nation had to fight, it fought as one. Tarun mentioned about Sindh. Almost all of the kings, of prominent kings, went to defeat the caliphs. India is the only country that defeated the caliphate. And after that, it could not rise again for 700 years. It was done in Sindh, in the borders of Rajasthan. Similarly, if you go even further back, when the Mahabharata took place, all the kings of India turned up. Of course, the majority sided with Duryodhana, and a minority sided with Lord Krishna. I think Krishna's, the total number of kings siding with Krishna were only 13, and 1,000 sided with Duryodhana. And one king stayed neutral, that was the Travancore king, who said, I don't like brothers fighting, so I'll be the cook for both. So he cooked food for both sides. So Chanakya had said that we are one country, but we are divided into thousands of Janapadas. The concept of decentralization was crucial to the concept of Hinduism. Everything is decentralized, there is no one God, there is no one book, there is no one church or one mosque or one Medina or Makkah. This is somewhere where every district has a sadhu, temples are everywhere. So this, what Mao Zedong, to borrow Mao Zedong's phrase, 1,000 flowers blooming, India was always like that. And this freedom to differ, argue, the concept of Shastras, When Shankaracharya decided, the Adi Shankara decided to reconvert India to Hinduism, he did not use the sword. He engaged in debate, and the rules were laid down. And the rule was, finally, if you lost, you converted to the other side's religion. And if you won, he would convert to you. So Mandana Mishra, the greatest spokesman of the Uttaramimsa school, converted and became the first Shankaracharya in Dwarka. So therefore, this concept of debate, division, differences, assimilation, synthesis, this was this outstanding quality of the Hindu. And those who are confronting today the Hindus, they have none of that. Even in our country today, and this is not a pejorative comment, it is a factual comment, you take two places where the Islamic people are in majority. One is the Valley of Kashmir, and the other is the district of Mallapuram. I take them as two extremes. There are other places in between too. Do you see any democracy there in terms of respecting minorities? No. 500,000 Kashmiri Hindus were driven out. And the greatest, the largest migration of this, forced migration of this sort is taking place, but the world has not taken notice. There are 2 million Hindus in Saudi Arabia, but in India, we have mosques, churches, so on. The multiplicity is there for everyone to see. So I would conclude by saying that we need to rearm by changing our mindset. That's the first thing that we need to do to Hindus. To know what you are and know what your history is. And the only way we could perhaps do it, in my opinion, is voluntarily, in your spare time, or if not for yourself, for your children. If your children are big, then your grandchildren, make them learn Sanskrit. Because Sanskrit has an effect on you which enables you immediately, it opens the doors to all the treasure of knowledge. And it is now being considered in the West as a language most synthetic, or in sync with computers. So the NASA today has made it compulsory to learn Sanskrit if you want to study artificial intelligence. So in that sense, I would say these three things. One, this country is of one people. No division of caste, no division of region, no division of alleged races. There are no races in India. Even the extreme East, people think they are Chinese. Actually, they are not Chinese, they are Thais. But the Thais came to India and adopted Hinduism and intermarried. So, this one, and finally the correct understanding of history, and voluntarily committing to learn Sanskrit. These, in my opinion, will constitute the rearming of the Hindu. The rest will follow by itself. Thank you very much.